Love has been perfected or completed or matured among us in this, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as He is, so are we in this world. And I love the particular part of this verse, especially the end that says, as He is. So as Jesus is now, so are we in this world. Now, it doesn't happen automatically. The things that He has talked about in the previous verses have to be in operation, and that is that love has to be operating in our life along with faith for us to be able to enjoy this position here. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. When you're operating in love, when you're operating at a mature level of love, it casts out fear in your life. Remember, fear is the opposite of faith. Faith, just very simply, is believing God or taking God at His word, and fear, being the opposite of that, is taking the devil at his word. So that's when the devil whispers things in your ear. You're not going to make it. What are you going to do? All this kind of stuff. If you start listening to that and you start picking up on that, you start having confidence in it, repeating it, fear will come in and actually grip you. When you operate in love, and the particular love that we're talking about is the understanding that God loves you. And love will conquer anything. Love will cause you to get the victory in an area over anything, because fear is what it is that tries to rob you. Fear is what it is that tries to come against you and get you out of faith. So operating in love casts that fear aside, and when it casts that fear aside, it allows your faith to operate in a pristine environment when you get the result then that it is that you desire. So there is no love in fear, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear involves torment. But he who fears has not been made perfect in love. In other words, if you are easily made afraid, if things scare you, if you worry easily, then the answer to that is develop your love walk better. It's not that you need more whatever. It's if a person is prone to fear a lot, the way that you correct that, the area that you correct that is your love walk. You operate at a higher or more mature level of love. He has not been made perfect in love. Verse 19, we love Him because He first loved us. Now that'll cause a whole lot of fear to leave you when you realize that God loves you and desires good things for you. If someone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he's a liar. For whom he does not love his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he has not seen? And this commandment we have from Him, that's Jesus, that he who loves God must love his brother also. That's summing up the commandment that Jesus gave. Now, if you'll remember, that commandment is in Matthew 22:40. And it's in other places, but Matthew 22:40 is the one that at the end of that, when Jesus said, a new commandment I give to you, that you love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, strength, and you love your neighbor as yourself. And then He said, for on this hangs all the law of the prophets. You remember that? So when John is talking about commandments, that's what he's talking about, is that commandment. Jesus said, this sums up the commandments, is to do this. Now remember, when Jesus first said that, when He said, a new commandment I give to you, you know the disciples standing around Him, they might not have looked Him in the eye, they might have looked off to the side, but they rolled their eyes like, oh Lord, another commandment. We've already got 613, and I broke 12 of them by breakfast this morning. It's just this. And now we've got another one that we've got to keep up with. But Jesus was summing up everything. He said, all the law of the prophets hangs on these two commandments. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. So by doing that, you fulfill the law of the prophets.